gain reps. But I felt good out there. I felt really good. Was able to do some things to give the team a little juice. Came out with a great start, but it's just tough when you able to play and then you got to watch the whole second half and not be able to contribute on the floor. So that was the only tough thing, but I think I felt fine for the most part.
Dave?
Eddie, you kind of when you finally got that step back jumper to fall 5 or so minutes ago in the first quarter. What was it like, the looks you're getting, the spots you're getting to? Did it feel like a little bit off, or what would you actually think of your production and execution?
Like I said, all the shots felt good. I didn't get to, I like the left block a lot more than the right, as you guys may know. So, my first 3 post-ups was on the right, and I just wanted to get to that left block a little bit more. But I was able to, get that first shot and kind of just felt good to see the ball go through the rim. Felt really good. Able to get a little floater baseline. Some I missed. I missed another one right after that. I missed a couple layups. So it was just fun to be out there again. Long time coming. So I was excited just to be out there.
Mike?
Hey, Anthony, did you get any initial indications of just playing with Drummond and the quickness you guys can have switching out onto the perimeter on defense, and then how you play some action on the side of the court?
Yeah, our defense was really good to start the game. We were really talking, flying around. Guys was covering for each other. So that's a good thing of having, another defensive player out there in Drum. Then offensively, we just figure it out. It's something that comes with time. One practice together and 16 minutes to play with each other. So that's going to come with time. Just like when Brown comes back, we're going to have to reset again, get him acclimated with him as well. But we're continuously talking and trying to figure things out. He's asking questions. I'm trying to direct him where I want him to be, where I have the ball in the post. It's going to take time, but we'll figure it out for sure.
And then just to follow up on how you felt physically, Anthony, is there anything about the mental part of it, where just getting through a game, not having to kind of look down and think about the leg, is that something you're able to kind of get past, and how much can that help by continuing to play games?
Yeah, I didn't think about it one time tonight. Honestly, I just went out there and played. I think it kind of limit what you do if you out there thinking about your injury. And so I just went out there and play and just not think about it. Go out there and just have fun and be excited to be back on the floor. That was my main thing. I was just excited to be back on the floor, with the guys. So I never thought about it. I never didn't limit to any moves. I wasn't hesitant with anything. So that was a good sign for me.
Bill?
AD, this is a stretch, obviously, where the games could potentially really matter. Dallas is a team that is trying to close the gap with you. What is it going to be like for you, or how hard might it be for you to kind of accept the process and the patience that's required with the ramp up when your group is out there trying to secure seeding and give you guys the best chance going forward?
Absolutely, God. That's very tough, especially like you say tonight and Saturday. We dropped this one tonight, knowing that Dallas was trying to catch Portland and us, and they came a game closer. And then Saturday, going to talk about how the minutes looked then, but I know probably won't be a full game, which still tough. When we're trying to battle as well for seeding. But we know, at the end of the day, when everyone's healthy, we're a tough team to beat, and no matter where we fall, we're going to come out and. I think we're going to be a challenge for anybody, and that's how we look at it, big picture, obviously. But we still want to make sure that we control our own destiny and be able to make the playoffs 1 through 6 and not fall through that 7 to 10 range.
All right, we've got time for 2 more. Dan?
And you kind of said this to Mike, but were there any nerves at all tonight? I mean, when you haven't done something for for months, whether it was excitement to be back out there, nervousness about how things would feel. Like there were a couple of times where you hit the court, like maybe like a quarterback getting sacked for the first time. I'm just curious if any of that stuff was reaffirming or confidence building.
I wasn't nervous at all. I think my teammates were, very, excited for me to be back on the floor, and they just got kind of give you that juice and that little oomph that you need to be back there out there on the floor. So I was pretty fine. Like I said, I had good energy to start the game. Felt good. So I wasn't nervous at all. I mean, I was upset that I was missing shots that I normally make. So that was probably the most frustrating part. But having the teammates, even when I missed shots, they were still there. Telling me good shots, keep shooting, keep going. You only got a certain amount of time, so shoot the ball. So that was a reassuring part with those guys, is knowing that they want me to shoot the ball, they score the ball. So that's good when you have teammates like that.
Last question, Mark Medina.
Hey, Dave, as much as you're spending the last 9 weeks healing from your injury, how much do you feel you're able to hit the mental reset button from dealing with the compressed season and the short turnaround from the bubble?
I think I was able to right there. You kind of get a break. I was able to get a break and kind of just reset and I won't say get away from the game, but knowing that I wasn't going to be playing for a while, just kind of mentally reset and use that time to kind of go through this summertime that I didn't have because of the shorter break. So I was able to use that time to really get away in a sense, and also basically get ready for this comeback game right here. So it was good for me. Now it's time to get back to work with the guys and fight for another championship.
We're good there, AD. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, you doing all right, man?
Yeah.
Good to see you back. Good luck to you. Hey there, buddy. No more that thing. Yeah. 48. 48. Come on.
We're live on the Lakers post game. We had to hop right in. I was cutting it kind of close trying to get into the stream. But we had to hop right in. We just got heard from AD, so we're going to wait for the next player. Hopefully we can get some questions in and make this a little interesting tonight. Lakers live post games, tough loss after the Lakers lost to the Mavericks tonight. They do play this team again on Saturday, so hopefully, they're able to get it done again. Coach Vogel.
Will, you ready?
I'm ready. Mike Trudell.
Hey, Frank, just wanted to start on AD. What did you see from him, and based on what your expectations were and how he was moving physically, especially?
Great to see him back in a Lakers uniform and on the floor for us. I had a little bit of rust, but I thought he played extremely well, and we're super excited to have him back out there.
Do you know the plan yet, Frank, for tomorrow and evaluating how he feels and then what the plan would be for the next game minutes-wise?
Yeah, it's just predicated on how we respond to tonight's work. Be evaluated tomorrow, and then we'll go from there.
How much did you think that impacted the way the game flow went in terms of him playing the first half, not the second? And how did you guys did you see a difference in the way you played?
Yeah, I mean, there were two different halves for sure. But anytime you integrate a player of that caliber, there's going to be an adjustment period with the guys, not just with him. And I feel like we saw that in the first half, but that's just part of what we have to go through during the stretch. And hopefully before we know it, he'll be back to playing normal starter minutes and helping us win games.
Dave?
I'd say the Knights game because of AD coming back, and then that game you played in Brooklyn Saturday night and against one of the the more notable teams in the league this season, were some games to him being like a big time player and
Like we lost some audio. I'm not sure what's going on. I can't even hear anything at all going on. It just went completely silent. Let's try to see if we can hop back in.
You have to follow medical team's recommendation. So there's no thought process with that.
Brad?
How you doing, Frank?
All right, BT, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Your starting backcourt had a combined 54 points, 29 from KCP, 25 from Dennis. How encouraging is that to see that from both those guys being attacking and being aggressive like that?
Yeah, well, we already talked about Dennis, and KCP's been playing this way for a few weeks now, and I love it. I'm super excited about what he's done over the last few weeks, and I think that's something that can carry over to when we're whole with Bron, AD, and Drum out there. I think we're going to be a tough team to beat. If you get that type of performance from Dennis and KCP, so really encouraging signs from both of those guys.
We've got time for a couple more. Jovan?
Hey, Frank. What did you think of AD's defense tonight? I know he had that one back-to-back sequence where he blocks Porzingis and then forces Luka into the corner and he airballs it. And as he's getting his legs back and kind of getting his offense back, is that kind of the area you see him impacting the game the most for now?
He impacts the game on both ends, but his defense was great. I think he picked up right where he left off. I think he's the best defensive player in the league when he's got his legs under him and conditioned. But you saw some of that tonight with those plays you alluded to. He also stole a corner skip pass that really should have been a rotation, and he just plucked it out of midair. So he maker on both sides of the ball, but he was terrific on D tonight.
Last question, Bill Plaschke.
Bill, I think you're muted.
It looks like he lowered his hand also. Let's go to Melissa Rowland.
Hey, Frank. Considering how serious that injury, AD's injury, could have been, and just sort of the fear that everybody felt when he first went down, can you describe the sense of relief that you personally felt tonight, seeing him back out on the court after 30 games?
Well, I think the sense of relief was more about the morning after that happened, when we found out that everything was structurally sound, and tonight was about just excitement about what's ahead of us. With AD returning the lineup, hopefully Bron getting back in there soon, and what we could look like when we're whole. So it's just even though we lost, it was a really positive night for the Lakers in terms of where we're going.
All set, Frank. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, we ready.
All right. Thank you. Mike Trudell.
Hey, Andre, we just want to start with that first quarter action and you and AD coming out together, what it felt like defensively, some of the switching under the perimeter, and just what you think that could be for you two going forward.
Man, it was definitely incredible to have AD out there. Just to see him, try to get himself to a rhythm and being on the same court as him as a teammate was a surreal moment for me. It felt like we were kids again playing in USA basketball. So it's going to be crazy when he gets back to full form and he's able to play those 30, 35 minutes on the court. Our defense is going to be very scary.
And how did you manage kind of the dual goal of the game and getting AD back integrated? You knew his minutes were going to be limited, and then also trying to find a way to win the game. What did you think was the key there, Andre, as the game went forward in the second half?
You know what? I think today was a trial game for us. Seeing how he fit out there with myself as well, being on the same court, and just trying to build that chemistry right away. Because we don't have a lot of time to really do this. So we got to do it with the time that we have now. We look great. We're going to try it again on Saturday, right? Try it again on Saturday. Try it again on Saturday, and just have fun with it. We're going to be a great team. Our team's starting to come back healthy, and sky's the limit for us.
Bill Oram.
Hey, Andre, what's the mental challenge of playing a half with AD and then having to adjust at halftime and go back to a totally different look without him and with Marquise there?
It wasn't much of a challenge to switch that up. I've been playing with Keith. I played with him in Detroit. I've had games share with him in LA as well too. So the chemistry with he and I hasn't changed at all. So it was just having AD out there in that first half to get him some run and get his legs going to get him a feel on the court. Nothing is going to change. We're still going to play with the same aggression. Guys are going to come out when they're ready when their numbers are called and play the same way.
Dan.
Andre, did you what were kind of your first impressions actually like on the court with Anthony? Was there more space for you on the block? Did you notice, you've been getting double teamed and stuff like that the first few weeks. Like what were some of the basketball differences that you noticed kind of in that little taste you had with him in the first half?
Yeah, being on the same court, AD has freed the game up for me a lot, to do some of the things that I'm very good at, which is rebounding. Because the focus is all on him when he has the ball. He has all five eyes at him. And not only are they doing that, but they're leaving the best rebound in the NBA wide open. So any shot he misses, and I'm right there to clean it up. The first half, I got the spray out three for Contavious. And, once he gets a rhythm and we start to really find that feel for each other on the court, the dynamic is going to be crazy.
Dave?
Andre, obviously AD didn't really play up to his standard that he's used to, but he hasn't played in so long. But he alluded to this practice you guys had. How did he look then? Like, did you get to see kind of the full-fledged AD more so in that practice?
Yeah, he was very active in practice. Defensively, he was flying around. Offensively, he was dunking the ball, shooting those mid-range shots that he makes all the time, hitting threes. So it was very encouraging to see him, in live action, play the way he played, because at the end of the day, it's only going to get better from here. This is game one for him. There was a lot of bright spots for him, and we have another game on Saturday. Hopefully he plays in that game too to, continue down the path that we're going down now.
Kyle Gunn.
Hey, Andre. KCP and Dennis had 26 combined points in that third quarter. What kind of tone that set for the group when you guys were trying to win the game without AD? And in your opinion, do you feel like that's something they've been sharpening in this period without AD and LeBron on the court?
KCP and Dennis have done a great job of just being themselves and not doing anything outside of their game. They're playing the way they're supposed to play. They're playing the right way, and they're having fun doing it, and they're making shots they're supposed to make. So this is no surprise that their success on the court is, showing right now.
All right, I think we're good. Great.
Fellas, thank you.
Lakers live post game out of bounds. We just heard from Andre Drummond. We've been having some really technical difficulties with the stream. I do apologize for that. Earlier we did uh, do a live color cast, which was my very first time doing color cast. I think it went very well. I do have the playback for that. So right after the post game, I'm gonna merge all the audio together and make it one big show. Definitely gonna be in for a treat on that. We're waiting on the next player to come up. Lakers did lose tonight to the Mavericks. They do play this team again on Saturday. Very interesting to see how AD looks in that game if he's able to play. He did play the first half of this game. He didn't really play a whole lot. Didn't play the second half at all. I'm really hoping to get a chance to see AD, get his legs back under him. I did see some bright spots, but ultimately, he just had rust. He was out for 30 games. Lakers live post game. We're waiting on another player to be able to address the media. Just tuning in, the Lakers did lose tonight to the Dallas Mavericks. They played in Dallas, Texas. Lakers fought really hard tonight. I was really impressed with how they played in the third quarter. They just didn't have enough to get it done tonight. Late game tonight. Lakers lose tonight, 115 to 110. Lost by 5 points. Battled down the stretch. They had great production from KCP, great production from Dennis Schroeder. I'm really impressed with how they played. AD was not himself. Obviously, he missed 30 games, and he just really looked rusty. In the offense, I did see him knock down his first shot like 7 minutes into the first quarter. He was 1 of 6 in that period. We just have to be a little bit more patient with him. This is his first game back. No need to panic. I did like how the team looked tonight. Um, I think they're on better. Hopefully, once they get healthy and they get everyone back in that full strength with LeBron, AD, Dennis Schroeder, KCP. He's really been um, surprising me of late. Knocking down the three consistently. Scoring 25, 26 points a game in the last couple games, and been having an offensive explosion. Loving the way he's shooting the ball. Hopefully it continues. I just love the way they're playing still, even though they did lose tonight. There was just a lot of bright spots that I did see. They did turn the ball over a lot, but I'm not disappointed in this game at all. Not one bit. Live post game with the Lakers. Make sure y'all following me on Twitter at Out of Bounds SPO1. Late night. Hopefully the team can bounce back Saturday. Hopefully AD can play on Saturday. Hopefully we can see a little bit more from him. It was just a breath of fresh air just seeing him back there, back on the floor in that Laker uniform. Seeing him on the floor with Andre Drummond, that was a bright spot. I was really interested to see how they would look together. And I like what I see. I like the size that, the team has. Like, they're going to be a force once they get this thing together. I was very optimistic about how everything looked tonight. Very encouraged about the team moving forward. Even despite the loss. I was hoping that they won tonight, but I really enjoyed this game. Just because I seen so many great production from so many players and things like that. And I'm just hoping that once everything comes together in the jails, it's just gonna be an unstoppable force going into the playoffs and just steamrolling. We are live after the Lakers game, Out of Bounds, Lakers post game. Great game tonight, great game. Despite the loss, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. Love what I saw. I feel like I watched a lot more Mavericks game this year, so I was well aware of what they were capable of doing. We just wasn't able to stop what they were doing. KCP had a great game. Yeah, I mean they definitely was playing good, Big Baby. I see you in the comments section. They did really good tonight. I mean, I like how KCP battled tonight. He did really good. So hopefully, this is something that we can see continue moving forward. Hopefully, this is not something that just an anomaly or something like that. Like it's not going to happen again. Hopefully, this is something that we can get used to seeing from KCP. We're just waiting to see who's going to be up next. While we're waiting, let's look at a few of the game stats. Had some great games come up today. Before the Lakers came on, we did look at the Milwaukee Bucks defeat the 76ers tonight, 124-117. That was actually a pretty decent game too. If y'all didn't catch that one, that was a nice game that was on before the Lakers played. This game, Kyle Kuzma really disappeared in the offense. I didn't really particularly like the way he played today. He wasn't aggressive enough. He played 30 minutes, and I just didn't feel like that he ever got it going. Dennis Schroeder, like he was magnificent, man. In 38 minutes, he had 25 points. That'll work. KCP had 29 points. With them two, they kept us afloat, really, because we really didn't get a whole lot of great production from anybody else. But Dennis Schroeder and KCP, they really, really was the catalyst today. I just have to give credit where it's due. On the Mavericks side, it was just really too much Luka. He was doing everything. He's still not efficient when as far as shooting the ball, but he's definitely capable of putting points on the board. He turns the ball over a lot, I noticed, but they was able to still get it done despite the turnovers. And even with that, the Lakers, turned the ball over 4 more times than the Mavericks did at 16-12. The Mavericks dominated the paint. The Lakers committing a lot of cheap fouls. They had 28 fouls to the Mavericks, 15 as a team. Assist-wise, Lakers took the edge by 3, 26-23 on that, which was impressive. Moving the ball around a lot. Free throws percentage was up at 82%. That'll work. The Mavericks were hitting a lot more threes, but both of them was not efficient enough. Both of them was shooting in the 30 percentile when it comes to the 3-point percentage. The Mavericks were just hitting more shots, honestly. I know I seen Porzingis go down today. Hopefully it's something minor. I do like KP the way he plays, but he's just really not durable. Like every time that he gets hit and he goes down, you can almost bet that he's probably going to miss the next game after that, which is unfortunate because he is so immensely talented when he's out there. Like I'm seeing how aggressive he's getting in the paint. I'm seeing how consistent he's knocking down his shots. It's just a point of him not, being on the floor and staying healthy. He just healthy. It looked like we got somebody else coming in. KCP. I'm going to get a chance to speak to KCP. Hopefully, I can get a question in with my man KCP.
Will, you ready?
We are ready.
All right.
Thank you. Mike?
Hey, Kenny, first of all, just want to get your thoughts on AD's return and what you noticed most about it on both sides of the court.
I mean, just seeing him trying to get into his rhythm. He missed, I think, his first maybe 4 or 5 shots, I think. It was just him trying to get back in the game flow rhythm. I mean, he looked pretty healthy, 100%, which is good for us. But just his minute was short in the night, and I feel like he's not back to himself yet. But once he get into that rhythm of, like, you know what I'm saying, getting that down, I feel like it's gonna be good for us.
It's the third straight game for you at least 5 threes. So we talked about and how do you think that AD coming back can aid that in a way? And do you think that you'll continue to get even better looks as LeBron eventually comes back as well?
Yes. I mean, the floor's going to open up time when them guys come back. We already seen when we posted AD tonight, they were doubling. So that swing is going to be there. Me just staying aggressive when them guys do come back. Continue to just put the pressure on the opponents.
Kyle?
Hey, KCP. I was just wondering, when AD was kind of hunting for his first basket, missed his first 5 shots, what was the mood of the team? Were you guys having to keep AD a little engaged, or were you talking to him at all? Were you just letting him try to play his game?
Man, we always trying to keep each other engaged. Whether we missing shots or someone's down, or emotional, like we always try to lift each other up, no matter what's going on the court. So I mean, that's all we was doing tonight, man. Keep shooting. We knew he was gonna miss some shots,
His first game back in almost a month. So we knew what was going to happen, and we was ready for it. And we continue to we played. We just didn't get the win.
Dan?
Hey, Katavius, to take you away from the court for a second, I wonder, did you get word about what happened with Terrence during the game? I know LeBron posted about it at halftime, and he had just signed with Clutch yesterday. Did that? What's that?
I didn't. We got the news as we was actually running out of the locker room. I mean, not everybody, but I just heard what was going on as I was coming out of the locker room. Oh man, words can't is explain. Just the feeling that his family is feeling, and we all just praying for him, their family, and just gotta continue to keep his family strong. To do much is it's hard to explain. How or the feeling of that. It happened so suddenly. Didn't really know the story, but kind of heard his mom and brother was following him at the time. So I just couldn't imagine just seeing that happen.
How do you go play a basketball game after you hear that? How tough is that?
It's tough, but this is our job. We got to try to, I want to say forget about it, just brush it to the side for these 48 minutes, and then after that we can think about it, talk about it as much as possible. I just feel like we just have to do that, try to have a blockage, but not really block it out.
Dave?
Yeah, okay. It was a really tough transition to go away from Terrence. I want to ask you about the game. Was there anything that Anthony did tonight where you're like, oh, yeah, he's back? I know his total line wasn't great, but was there any moment you're like, that's the Anthony Davis we missed?
The post up he had, the one, the spin move, and I think it was a dunk or a layup. I think it was the and one he had got. We definitely miss his presence down there. His scoring, his shot blocking ability to defend the guards on the perimeter. When we do switch, he's been missed very much. And I'm just glad he's back healthy, 100%, and we can just continue to push, and to get where we need to be.
Got time for two more. BT.
What's up, Kenny? Hey, you and Dennis combined for 54 points tonight. How beneficial will it be for both you guys to stay aggressive going forward for this team?
It's going to be it's going to be important. We know when Bron get back, we already got AD back. Them guys, the ball's going to be in their hands as much as possible. Just trying to get them back acclimated within the game flow. But I mean, for me and Dennis, we just got to just stay aggressive, doing what we're doing now, even when them guys come back. So it'll be opportunities there for that to happen. So we got to just take full advantage of it.
Last question, Melissa Rowland.
Hey, KCP. Knowing how serious AD's injury could have been, can you describe how big of a sense of relief it was to see him on the court tonight?
The energy was in the locker room was good. Just even seeing him walk into the game, go out and warm up, get dressed with us. The energy was a little different. Just knowing he's back 100%, and we kind of needed that a little bit. That energy. So I mean, just having him back, is a big part, for this organization and what we're trying to do. And then we got one more guy that we need to get healthy. I mean, I feel like once they're back, I feel like our team is complete, but we just got to continue to just be aggressive and we fight for something.
All right, we'll wrap there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lakers live post game. We are currently waiting on the next player. KCP did address the media. We was fortunate enough to hear from him. Him and Dennis Schroeder combined for 54 points tonight. They really look good tonight. And here goes Dennis right here. So we'll be able to listen to him. Really glad to see them play a little bit more aggressive.
Mike Trudeau.
Hey, Dennis, it looked like on the broadcast there was a moment, I think in the second quarter, where you just kind of said, let's go, and you kind of subsequently led a big run to get back into the game. Do you remember that moment? Or was there something that you were sensing the way the team was playing that you wanted to redirect?
In the second quarter, you said?
It was the first half. Yeah, there was a moment where right before you kind of went on that individual run in the second quarter, it seemed like.
Yeah, I mean, we should have won that game, I believe. But I mean, at the end of the day, I just tried to, lead us, tried to talk to my teammates, keep them positive energy, and I mean, that's my role right now, and I just try to keep them engaged, and I mean, we closed it out well, and we came out, in the third quarter, played great defense and was running the floor. So, I mean, overall, we did a great job.
Yeah, Frank said he thought this might have been your best individual game of the season, but as you said, it sounds like that's not what your concern is amidst for a win. But was there something that helped you, Dennis, get into that kind of rhythm on offense, whether it was through scoring or through passing?
I mean, if it's my best season, my best game of this season, then I'm going out with a W. So, I mean, it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, and then just what were your impressions of AD, of Davis and his return?
Well, having him back is just, it's just great. On the defensive end, had a couple of steals, changing shots, and on the offensive end, he's a little rusty and shot a couple, but I'm just glad he's out there again, and he's going to find his rhythm probably on Saturday. But I love to see him out there being healthy. He worked hard, to get back, and I mean, I can't wait, just play with him, find that chemistry again, and yeah, it's great to have him out there.
Dave?
Dennis, how much of the chemistry or the way that Drummond and AD will fit together kind of comes down to you in terms of organizing them and making sure that they have the proper space to operate with one another, both on the block?
Yeah, I mean, we got to figure that out, I think we have some good plays for it, for AD setting the screen, and Dre being in the dunker when I hit AD in the pocket pass, that he can finish or lob it to Dre. So, finding that chemistry, I think right now, AD got to be a little bit aggressive because he got a minute restriction, you try to find him early. But I think when we, get in with him again and LeBron comes back, then I think it's gonna be just fine, So just try to get AD back slowly, still try to get some dubs, and until Bron comes back, and then I think we'll be fine.
Bill?
Dennis, what's the challenge of having AD back but not fully back yet? Obviously, not for both halves, and then knowing you're going to have to do this again, probably with LeBron in a few games, while you're also trying, like you were just talking about, trying to win games and secure your spot in the standings.
I mean, first off, it don't matter where we end up at, I believe. So end of the day, we want to make the playoffs. We want to win games. We want to focus on us, what we do, and try to get better every game, until everybody gets back. And to this point, because I mean, they was hurt, try to come back. I think, we can't rush nobody. And I think everybody else coming from the bench, just got to give everything they have, to win a game. So
I mean, we just got to get out there, 48 minutes, try to give everything we have, and try to come up with some wins, of course. But I think for me personally, if everybody is there, I mean, in a 7-game series, I put my money on us. So, but like I said, just try to get better game by game and try to get out with some W's.
Kyle?
Hey, Dennis. AD was saying that, when he was missing his first couple of shots, it was kind of frustrating because he felt there were looks he normally makes. And then, when he hit his first shot, it felt very good seeing it go through the rim. I was wondering if you felt like the team was kind of sharing those feelings a little bit, whether you were really just waiting as a team to see AD's first shot that went in.
Yeah, I mean, he's been working so hard, for 2 months close to. I mean, he's working, trying to get back. We see him every day in the gym, even in the, hotel, just working out and trying to get back, So, I mean, me personally, in the first half, was just, try to find him and try to, give him a good rhythm. It wasn't even, it was just for me, try to, give him the rhythm. And I think on Saturday, we know exactly what we need to do, to win this game. We need to compete, everybody need to do their job and try to come up with a W.
Last question, Rachel Nichols.
Hey, Dennis. In what ways does your competitiveness come out when you're playing against a guy like Luka Doncic on the other side?
I mean, he's of course a great player, but I like, I like to compete, against the best guys. And I mean, he's a hell of a player, of course, but whoever it is who I'm playing, because I mean, we in the NBA, we play almost every night against the best point guards, in the world. So me as an underdog, I like to compete, and like the challenge. And I'm gonna do everything I can to compete and try to get a W for my team.
Do you track a little bit what the other point guard is doing on the other side?
What do you mean by that?
Like, are you keeping track throughout the game of, oh, he scored on me twice, or, oh, he's got this much even when I'm out of the game and I got to do something more?
No, I mean, every possession counts, for me. So whenever I'm on him, I just try to make it as hard as possible. And sometimes I get frustrated, when I'm out and he scores or he gets to the line. I can't lie about that. So, I mean, it's just, me competing, being competitive. So I want to be out there, when he's out there, because I just want to compete, and even if he score 40, then I know exactly he got these 40 points, it wasn't easy for him. And I just, try to compete. That's all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're done there, Dennis. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Anisha.
That is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for tuning in to another Lakers live post game. I will be back probably. I want to cover this game on Saturday that they play it again. We'll see. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank everybody for supporting. I want to thank anybody that tuned into the live color cast. I did have an amazing experience doing that. Looking forward to doing more of those. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for listening, and we will see you on